sponsored video, so I'm not making a review, but this X70 Pro Plus is just a seriously unique and interesting phone. So I want to show you my top 10 coolest things about it. And number 10 is actually the unboxing experience. Because in a year where most companies are trimming down, I think this company is ramping up. You'll notice immediately that it is a chunkier package than most. And inside you can see a glossy strip on the right, you've got this photography redefined text, and more curiously, this ridiculously huge camera module peeking out the middle. That would be the phone. And then below that you get a 66-watt fast charger, a pair of earphones, a pretty nice hard-backed but soft-to-the-touch case, SIM ejector tool, and a USB-C cable. Okay. Within 2 minutes of holding this phone, I already knew what number 9 was going to be. This feels incredible. For starters, I've got no idea what they've coated it with, but this might be the greatest finish I've ever seen on a phone. Like, black is usually the first color to attract fingerprints, right? This thing is not just resistant, but practically immune. You can't make it dirty, even if you try. Secondly, the buttons. Most phones have these really clicky feeling buttons, and I actually didn't realize that I didn't like them until I used these. They're still tactile, but it's almost like there's a layer of cushioning which makes the impact softer. I noticed it immediately, but I couldn't quite tell what it was. So I pulled up a whole bunch of phones and realized what they've done is while most phones have either completely flat sides, or they have some curve on the back with a flat screen, or sometimes both a curve on the back and the screen, Vivo's actually built this phone such that the curvature radius of the front exactly matches with the curvature radius of the back, whilst also making the seam between also follow that same arc. Or in other words, a completely continuous phone all the way around. Comes with a Snapdragon 888 Plus, the fastest chip available, 256 gigs of the fastest UFS 3.1 storage, and 12 gigabytes of the fastest LPDDR RAM, all on the base model. It allows the phone to use 4 gigabytes of its normal memory as backup RAM if the phone ever runs out of that 12 gigabytes. If you're into benchmarks, it is hitting over 50,000 more points than my maxed out Snapdragon version of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. But the reason that I haven't put this power further up on the list is that, fast as it is, this isn't a fundamentally different spec sheet to other top-end flagships. Also, number 1 on this list is kind of crazy. But where it does start to diverge is the customization features of the peculiarly named FunTouch 12. It was already one of Vivo's stronger features on their last phone. With the previous software, you could pick everything from the fingerprint scanner icon to the face unlock animation to how charging is displayed. But you can now delve even further, being able to also adjust things like how you want apps to exit and how you want your home screen to appear when you unlock your phone. So we're not short of fantastic displays on flagship phones nowadays, but this screen is quite possibly the most jacked panel you've seen in your entire life. Listen to this. It is a 6.8-inch AMOLED Quad HD display with a 120Hz refresh rate. Okay. But then also full support for 10-bit color, or over 1 billion different shades, with the LTPO technology, which allows the refresh rate to not just be really high, but also to go as low as 1 Hz, to save battery anytime you're looking at something still. And this is one of the first screens to be made with E5 material, which enables higher brightness and reduced power consumption by a further 5%. You would need a really good eye though to discern the difference versus other high-end flagships. It's pretty clear from the way this thing looks that the primary selling point here is the cameras, which is what most smartphones tend to use for a high transmittance glass lens. They're saying that it'll mean purer images, and while it's pretty tough for me to conclusively say that this is what's making all the difference, I love the concept of it, and I can say that photos do look better. How they use Zeiss's T-Star glass coatings to reduce reflections from bright lights, or how they've created a special portrait mode called Biotar that mimics the rotational bokeh of Zeiss's iconic Biotar lens. Well, with the X70 Pro Plus, they've gone a bit crazy with this. There's 3 new Zeiss-inspired modes. One's called Vistagon, inspired by a Zeiss lens known as "This is the iPhone." And I'll show you what I took. This is the iPhone. This is the Vivo. This is the iPhone. This is the Vivo. This is the iPhone. This is the Vivo. You probably get the idea. There's also different styles of night mode, varying vastly in quality. Some of them look like you've just dipped your finger in butter and rubbed it over the lens. Others add layers of character. But hopefully you've caught my drift here. Vivo X70 Pro Plus is possibly the most fun I've ever had with a phone.